This is just a super quick and dirty tutorial for how I do subsurfed hair. So, or fur really. So just put subdivision surface on there, apply that just so we have more geometry, but put it back on again. And what you want to do is just start pulling things out. I'm going to make this into a tail, just for example. I need screencast keys on too. Enable. All right. So I'm going to extrude this into a tail shape, first of all. So let's make this just a little short tail. Why not? It's kind of like it's going to be kind of like the mini foxtails I made. Add some more geometry. And then what you can begin doing is just pulling out points like this. But you'll want to make sure to be alternating quite a bit, like alternating rows. And if that doesn't seem like enough geometry, add some triangles. Use the J key, just join some edges together to create triangles. This will be a lot easier to see if it was smooth, shade smooth. Put that on. I like to work with this thing on so I could actually see what I'm working on with subsurf, but a lot of times I'll just like surround it with triangles so there's extra edge geometry to give it a shape. A lot of it's just like messing around and making it look really messy and organic. And don't worry too much about your having quads. You can always adjust later to give quads. But in order to make something look organic, sometimes you just have to like really mess with it. It's not super realistic, of course. This is really much more toony, which is kind of my style anyways. I make a lot of toony stuff for chibi avatars. So it's just kind of a very simple look. But a lot of, you want to make sure that things kind of alternate a bit. And then also you can extrude to make fur strands and make that smaller too. So like just extrude from random places. And you want to make it smaller too so that it has like an end. And then earlier I was describing how you can create a point in the middle just by creating kind of some triangles in the middle like that. Okay, like that. And that gives you kind of more of a longer strand. Like that. Really, just the more you mess around with it and get creative with it, the more organic it's going to look. And then texturing helps a lot too. Like that. And I'll use this method to create hair. I'll use this method to create fur. I use it for a lot of different things. Even just to create like spikes, weird effects like that. If they end up too flat, you might want to like add another row and like pull it in. Then add some more geometry to the end of the point like that. I'm going pretty quick, but you can get kind of like the base idea for how you want to do this. With anything organic, it's going to be a lot of just like going back, adding more geometry, adjusting. And then at the very end, once I'm done, I'll usually like apply subsurf and then just mess with it some more. Yeah. Usually after you add subsurf, it's easy to put on like proportional editing or something. Then you could really begin to tweak the shape with proportional editing and make it look really irregular. And like rough it up more than you would with the subsurf modifier on. If you're doing non-destructive editing and you think you're still going to be editing it more, though, I wouldn't like suggest turning off subsurf modifier right away. But this is like what I would suggest near the end, to just like tweak your geometry a bit. Make sure that everything is how you want it in the end. But I would save a whole bunch of times, especially before you apply subsurf. I would, no matter what it is, I would save before applying subsurf, if you even have to really apply it. A lot of times it's not necessary. That's just kind of like a quick and dirty on how I make clumpy fur effects. Kind of looks okay for something I made in like 5 minutes.